Nice segue, because I'm going to talk about further hotel quarantines and the state of the travel industry. That's because British residents arriving in England from COVID hotspots will have to quarantine in hotels for 10 days. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has just announced that news in the last half hour. The new restrictions come amid concerns over these new variants of the virus. And the global travel body, the WTTC, warned that the damage to the travel industry could cost the UK economy a staggering $750 million every day. Meanwhile, the firm suffered... that's moment. Look, let's get more. I want to stay on this. Let's get more. Let's go straight over to Virginia Messina, Managing Director at the World Travel and Tourism Council, as I said, the WTTC. Virginia, always a pleasure seeing you with us. Hey, listen, let's start off. This must be a tough one for you because, look, yes, we know how important travel is to the global economy. More than 10% it makes up of the global economy. You have to be seen to protect the travel industry, and yet it is the travel industry that in many parts is to blame for the spread of the virus. And governments have to be seen to be doing something to stop that spread.
Hello, Aaron, thank you very much for having me. I mean, absolutely, it's how striking that balance, right, between the public health measures and the economic measures. And we must not forget the 330 million livelihoods that depend on our sector. So all of those jobs and the knock-on effect of these measures are going to be devastating, not only for the travel sector, but the UK economy as a whole. So we believe there are more effective measures of curbing the spread of the virus without having to completely halt international travel and closing borders.
Well, you know, closing borders, we've seen it quite successfully done in Australia and New Zealand in terms of being able to manage as best they can the virus. In fact, their economies are pretty much up and running. So this announcement in the past half hour, there are many in your industry who say this hodgepodge approach by the UK government, you know, only sort of hotel quarantining some and not others, is pretty messy. You either go in all or you don't go in at all.
I mean, absolutely. What this is doing is completely undermining consumer confidence. I mean, no one's going to want to travel. These ever-changing rules are just people that perhaps were thinking of booking for the summer. And these bookings are what really are holding the sector at the moment. So this is just going to completely undermine the consumers because it's just so confusing. So we need some sort of consistency between countries. And what we need is an effective testing regime at departure and arrival that will help governments identify the positive cases and, of course, isolate them.
Virginia, can I just get this in before we end? I mean, this is typically the time where we see bookings for those all-important spring and summer holidays. But now with these new variants around the world, I'm just wondering, could these new variants be the death nail for many travel companies?
I think, I mean, as we see vaccination programs rolled out around the world, I think that's going to definitely bring some sort of light at the end of the tunnel. And I think in the next couple of months or 3 months, we'll definitely be in a much better place. So we're definitely hopeful that we will be able to have some sort of a summer, and perhaps there will be still some destinations that might be in a different position. But at least some of the major markets hopefully will be in a better position, and that will then enable the travel industry to at least pick up during the summer.
Indeed it will, and many airline CEOs telling me that it's going to take a vaccine passport, basically. But unfortunately, I've got to leave it there. Virginia Messina, thank you very much for joining us. You stay safe and well, and we'll check in with you soon. Okay, let me just touch on some of the other stories making